Michael Anderson, a 32-year-old software engineer, and Olivia Hartley, a 28-year-old elementary school teacher, had just exchanged vows in a lavish ceremony at the iconic Carmel Mission Basilica. The historic church, with its stunning Spanish colonial architecture, provided a romantic backdrop for what guests described as a fairy tale wedding. Little did anyone know that this fairy tale would soon turn into a horror story. As the sun set over the Pacific Ocean, casting a golden glow over the reception at the upscale Carmel Valley Ranch, guests danced and toasted to the newlyweds' happiness. Michael and Olivia, high school sweethearts who had been together for over a decade, seemed blissfully in love. They shared tender looks and stolen kisses throughout the evening, their joy palpable to everyone around them. At around 11:30 p.m., as the party was winding down, Michael excused himself to use the restroom. It was the last time anyone would see him. When he didn't return after 20 minutes, Olivia, concerned, asked her brother to check on him. The restroom was empty. A quick search of the venue yielded no results. Michael Anderson had vanished into thin air. Initially, guests and family members assumed it was a prank, or that Michael had perhaps gone for a walk to clear his head after the excitement of the day. However, as the hours ticked by and there was no sign of the groom, the atmosphere shifted from mild concern to full-blown panic. Olivia, still in her white wedding gown, paced anxiously, her mascara streaking down her face as she repeatedly tried to reach Michael on his cell phone. By 3 a.m., with Michael still missing, Olivia made the difficult decision to contact the Monterey County Sheriff's Office. Deputy Sarah Martinez arrived at the scene, her face grim as she took in the bizarre situation. A missing groom on his wedding night was not a common occurrence, and the experienced officer knew immediately that this was no ordinary case. The following days saw an extensive search operation launched across Carmel and the surrounding areas. Search and rescue teams combed the nearby beaches and hiking trails. Divers explored the waters off the coast, fearing the worst. Flyers with Michael's photo and description were plastered across town, and local news stations ran constant updates on the case. As the investigation progressed, Detective James Reeves, a seasoned investigator with the Monterey County Sheriff's Office, began to dig deeper into the couple's background. On the surface, Michael and Olivia seemed to have the perfect relationship. They were both well-liked in their community, active in local charities, and by all accounts devoted to each other. However, as Reeves would soon discover, beneath this pristine exterior lay a web of secrets and lies that would shock even the most hardened investigator. The first crack in the facade appeared when Reeves interviewed Michael's best friend and best man, Ryan Thompson. Ryan, visibly uncomfortable, revealed that Michael had confided in him just days before the wedding. According to Ryan, Michael had discovered something disturbing about Olivia's past and was considering calling off the wedding. Ryan didn't know the details, only that Michael had been deeply troubled and conflicted. This revelation cast a new light on the case. Was Michael's disappearance voluntary? Had he gotten cold feet and run away? Or was there something more sinister at play? Detective Reeves knew he needed to look closer at the bride, Olivia Hartley. On the surface, Olivia was the picture of a grieving newlywed. She appeared distraught in interviews, pleading for Michael's safe return. Her pain seemed genuine, eliciting sympathy from the community and the media. However, as the investigation deepened, inconsistencies in her story began to emerge. The breakthrough came when detectives uncovered financial records showing large sums of money being transferred out of Michael's accounts in the weeks leading up to the wedding. The transactions were authorized using Michael's credentials, but the timing and amounts were suspicious. When confronted with this information, Olivia claimed ignorance, stating that Michael handled all their finances. As detectives dug further into Olivia's background, they made a startling discovery. Olivia Hartley was not who she claimed to be. Fingerprint analysis revealed that she was actually Sarah Blackwood, a woman who had been reported missing from her home in Portland, Oregon, over a decade ago. The revelation sent shockwaves through the community. How could the beloved elementary school teacher, known for her kindness and dedication to her students, be living under a false identity? The answer, as investigators would soon uncover, lay in a dark and twisted tale of deception that spanned years. Sarah Blackwood had grown up in a troubled home in Portland. Her father, a prominent businessman, had been emotionally and physically abusive. At the age of 18, Sarah had disappeared, leaving behind a note claiming she couldn't take the abuse anymore. The case had gone cold, and Sarah Blackwood had been presumed dead. But Sarah hadn't died. She had reinvented herself as Olivia Hartley, moving to California and carefully constructing a new identity. She met Michael Anderson in college, and over the years had woven an intricate web of lies to hide her true identity. The question now was, did Michael discover the truth about his bride? And if so, what happened to him? As the investigation continued, more disturbing details emerged. Forensic analysis of the couple's shared computer revealed that someone had been researching ways to disappear without a trace in the weeks leading up to the wedding. The searches had been deleted, but cyber experts were able to recover the data. Additionally, security camera footage from a gas station just outside of Carmel showed a woman matching Olivia's description, buying a prepaid cell phone and a large amount of cash the day before the wedding. When confronted with this evidence, Olivia broke down, admitting that she had indeed been living under a false identity. However, she vehemently denied any involvement in Michael's disappearance. Through tears, she explained that she had planned to tell Michael the truth after the wedding. She claimed that she truly loved him and had been terrified of losing him if he knew about her past. As the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the case of the vanishing groom continued to baffle investigators. Despite exhaustive searches and countless interviews, no trace of Michael Anderson was found. The community of Carmel by the Sea, once known for its idyllic charm, now found itself at the center of a national media frenzy. Theories abounded. Some believed that Michael had discovered Olivia's true identity and fled, unable to cope with the betrayal. Others speculated that Olivia, fearing exposure, had somehow orchestrated Michael's disappearance. The most sinister theories suggested that Michael had been murdered, his body hidden somewhere in the vast wilderness surrounding Carmel. The case took another unexpected turn 6 months after the ill-fated wedding, when a hiker in Big Sur, about 30 miles south of Carmel, stumbled upon a weathered backpack hidden in a remote area off the Baranda Trail. Inside the backpack were a man's clothes, a large amount of cash, and a passport belonging to Michael Anderson. The discovery reignited the investigation. Search teams once again combed the rugged terrain of Big Sur, hoping to find some trace of Michael. Cadaver dogs were brought in, but no human remains were found. The location of the backpack, however, suggested that Michael had at least made it this far on his own. Forensic analysis of the backpack and its contents provided more questions than answers. While the passport and clothes were definitively Michael's, there were no fingerprints or DNA evidence that could confirm whether Michael himself had placed the backpack there. The cash inside totaled over $50,000, leading investigators to believe that Michael had planned his disappearance. As the investigation continued, detectives uncovered more about Olivia's past life as Sarah Blackwood. They learned that her father, Robert Blackwood, had died under suspicious circumstances just months before Sarah's disappearance. While officially ruled an accident, there had been whispers of foul play. Could Sarah have been involved in her father's death? This revelation added another layer of complexity to the case. If Michael had discovered not only Olivia's true identity, but also her possible involvement in her father's death, it could explain his sudden disappearance. Fear for his own safety might have driven him to flee. But the question remained, why hadn't Michael come forward if he was alive and in hiding? Surely he would have seen the media coverage of his disappearance. His silence was puzzling and troubling. As the one-year anniversary of Michael's disappearance approached, the case had become one of the most talked-about mysteries in recent memory. True crime podcasts dissected every detail, internet sleuths pored over evidence, and the residents of Carmel by the Sea found themselves living in the shadow of an unresolved tragedy. Olivia, or Sarah as she was now known, remained in Carmel, living under constant scrutiny. She had lost her teaching job when her true identity was revealed, and found herself ostracized by the community that had once embraced her. She maintained her innocence, insisting that she loved Michael and had nothing to do with his disappearance. The stress of the ongoing investigation and media attention took its toll on Olivia. Once vibrant and outgoing, she became a recluse, rarely leaving her home. Those who caught glimpses of her described a woman who looked much older than her years, haunted by the weight of her secrets and the uncertainty of her future. Michael's journal offered a haunting insight into his life while on the run. He wrote of his constant fear of being discovered, the regret of leaving his family behind, and his ongoing struggle with the truth about Olivia's deception. These entries revealed a man torn between the desire for safety and the longing for the life he left behind. Intriguingly, the final entry, dated just 2 years before the journal's discovery, hinted at Michael's intention to finally confront his past. He mentioned plans to return to the United States and face the consequences of his actions. However, the journal ended abruptly, leaving investigators to wonder what had happened after that final entry. The discovery of the journal reignited public interest in the case. Speculation ran wild. Had Michael followed through on his plan? If so, why hadn't he resurfaced? Or had something happened before he could make it back? Meanwhile, Olivia, now in her late 40s, had rebuilt a quiet life for herself in a small town in Oregon, ironically, not far from where she had grown up as Sarah Blackwood. She had legally reclaimed her birth name and worked as a freelance writer, keeping to herself and avoiding media attention. When news of the journal's discovery broke, reporters once again sought out Olivia. In a brief statement released through her lawyer, she expressed hope that the journal might lead to answers about Michael's whereabouts. She reiterated her innocence in both Michael's disappearance and her father's death, pleading for privacy as the investigation continued. Detective James Reeves, now retired, followed the developments with keen interest. The case had defined his career, and even in retirement, he couldn't let it go. With permission from the current investigators, Reeves volunteered to assist in analyzing the new evidence. As Reeves pored over the journal entries, he noticed something others had missed. Certain phrases and references seemed to be coded messages. Drawing on his years of experience, Reeves began to decipher what he believed was a hidden message within the text. After weeks of painstaking work, Reeves made a breakthrough. He uncovered coordinates hidden in the journal, a location in the dense forests of the Pacific Northwest, not far from where Sarah Blackwood had grown up. A team of investigators was dispatched to the location. After a grueling trek through rough terrain, they came upon a small abandoned cabin. Inside, they found evidence that someone had been living there until recently. Among the items left behind was a laptop computer. Forensic analysis of the laptop revealed a treasure trove of information. It contained detailed files about Robert Blackwood's death, including evidence suggesting it was indeed murder, not the accident it was originally ruled. However, the files also exonerated Sarah, Olivia. Instead, they pointed to a conspiracy involving Robert Blackwood's business partners. The laptop also contained a video file similar to the one Michael had sent years earlier. In this new video, a visibly aged Michael explained everything. He revealed that after discovering the truth about Robert Blackwood's death, he had faked his own disappearance to protect himself and Olivia while gathering evidence. Michael explained that he had spent years investigating the case, always staying one step ahead of those who might want to silence him. The journal, coded messages, all were part of his elaborate plan. In the video, Michael expressed deep remorse for the pain he had caused his family and Olivia. He explained that he had initially fled out of fear and confusion, but as he uncovered more about the conspiracy surrounding Robert Blackwood's death, he realized he couldn't come back without putting everyone he loved in danger. The video ended with Michael stating his intention to turn himself in and present his evidence to the authorities. He hoped this would finally bring closure to the case and allow everyone to move on with their lives. However, Michael never made it to the authorities. 2 days after the discovery of the cabin, a body was found washed up on a beach near Eureka, California. Dental records confirmed it was Michael Anderson. The autopsy revealed that Michael had died from a gunshot wound. The investigation into his death opened up a new chapter in the already complex case. Had Michael been killed by those involved in the conspiracy he had uncovered, or was there yet another twist to this tale? As news of Michael's death spread, the community of Carmel by the Sea was once again thrust into the spotlight. The tragic end to Michael's case brought a somber mood to the town. Many residents who had once judged him harshly for his disappearance now felt a deep sadness for the life he had lived in, hiding in the circumstances of his death. Olivia, upon learning of Michael's death, was devastated. In her first public appearance in years, she gave a heartfelt interview expressing her grief and regret. She spoke of the love she and Michael had shared, the pain of their separation, and her hope that the full truth would finally come to light. The evidence Michael had gathered led to a series of high-profile arrests and convictions. Several prominent business figures were implicated in Robert Blackwood's death and a range of other criminal activities. The case sent shockwaves through the corporate world and led to calls for greater oversight and transparency in business practices. As for Olivia, she was finally cleared of any wrongdoing in her father's death. The revelation that she had been a victim rather than a perpetrator led to a shift in public opinion. Many who had vilified her over the years now saw her in a new light, as a woman who had suffered greatly due to circumstances beyond her control. In the wake of these revelations, Olivia chose to honor Michael's memory by establishing a foundation in his name. The Michael Anderson Foundation for Truth and Justice aimed to help individuals who had been wrongly accused or victimized by corporate crime. Through this work, Olivia found a measure of peace and purpose. The case of Michael and Olivia became more than just a sensational true crime story. It evolved into a cautionary tale about the dangers of deception, the far-reaching consequences of corporate greed, and the resilience of the human spirit. It sparked important conversations about identity, trust, and the nature of truth in the modern world. In Carmel by the Sea, life gradually returned to normal, though the town would forever be changed by the events that had unfolded there. The case became part of the town's history, a story told to visitors and passed down through generations. As years passed, the once shocking tale of the vanishing groom became a legend, a case that encapsulated the complexities of human nature and the unpredictable twists of fate. It served as a reminder that sometimes truth is stranger than fiction, and that even in the most idyllic settings, darkness can lurk beneath the surface. The beaches of Carmel, with their golden sands and crashing waves, continued to attract visitors from around the world. But for those who knew the case, the picturesque scenery held a deeper meaning. It stood as a testament to the enduring mystery of the human heart and the secrets we all carry within us. In the end, the case of Michael Anderson and Olivia Hart remained a poignant reminder of the power of love, the weight of secrets, and the unexpected ways in which our lives can be forever altered by the choices we make. Their story, with all its twists and turns, became a modern-day epic, a tale of love and loss, deception and redemption that would be remembered long after the protagonists were gone. As the sun set over Carmel by the sea, casting long shadows across the beach where Michael and Olivia had once walked hand in hand, the town settled into a peaceful quiet. The mystery that had defined it for so long had finally been laid to rest, but its legacy would live on, a haunting reminder of the thin line between truth and deception and the enduring power of a love that defied all expectations. Thank you for joining us on this thrilling journey into the mysterious case of the vanishing groom. We hope this case has captivated your imagination and sparked your curiosity about the complexities of human nature and the unpredictable twists of fate. We appreciate your time and attention and are grateful for your interest in our true crime narratives. Your support motivates us to continue bringing you compelling stories that explore the darker sides of human experience while highlighting resilience and the pursuit of truth. Remember, behind every sensational headline lies a complex web of human emotions, motivations, and circumstances. As we've seen in Michael and Olivia's case, the truth is often more intricate and surprising than we initially assume. We look forward to welcoming you back for more intriguing tales in our upcoming videos. There are countless untold stories waiting to be explored, each offering unique insights into the human condition. Until next time, stay curious, stay compassionate, and remember that sometimes the most shocking secrets are hidden in plain sight. Thank you once again, and we'll see you in our next video.